Hey everybody, this is Lifting the Veil with Terri and
Rhonda.
we have our special guest today, Michele Walker, who's an amazing astrologer. We've had her on several times, and we're coming into the spring equinox. So, we'd like to know what's coming up for us, Michele.
Well, and I'm here to try to give you sort of the astro weather, what we're dealing with right now. I mean, if depending on when we're watching this, up until March 20th, which is the spring equinox, we have Mercury retrograde. That's where we're dealing with right now. So, as you're watching this, if any of us are going offline a little bit or kerflooey, you just chalk it up to Mercury retrograde. Mercury is retrograde in Pisces right now, and we are in Pisces season. Pisces is ruled by Neptune, so that's filled with fog and delusion and illusion and looking at things in life through rose-colored glasses. And Mercury is not really the most clear sign out of all of the signs, and so to have Mercury going retrograde in Pisces, let's just say it's a very confusing a transit. It really is. So it's probably one of the most confusing places for Mercury to retrograde. So anyway, so let's get down to it. Once we hit March 20th, that's where everything starts to happen. That's the spring equinox. That's at 10:46 a.m. on March 20th, and
Yay.
that's I know, and that's when the sun enters Aries, baby. And then guess what? Just a few hours later, at 3:33 p.m. Numerology much lately. That's when Mercury is going to station direct in Pisces. Thank you, baby Jesus. And it now just keep in mind, after a Mercury retrograde, you want to get what's called a post shadow phase. I mean, yes, Mercury is going to be moving forward again, but it takes a little bit of time for Mercury to get back up to speed. So don't go right out and start signing contracts and start things up again. You got to kind of give it a little bit of time to wake up, right? But I want to kind of start off with this. I've been thinking about this. One of my favorite astrologers is Susan Miller, and if you haven't checked her out, check her out. She's been around for a million years. Her mother was an astrologer, so this is a woman who she learned from her mother at her mother's knees. So she's an amazing astrologer, and she calls the outer planets the board of directors. And I think that's the best analogy. If you think about it, Jupiter, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, all of those outer planets, they're the board of directors. They set the tone of what we're doing in our lives, not just as people, but our world, right? And for the last long time, we've had all of our board of directors have been earth and water signs. Last year, they started dipping their toe into the air and fire, but then they went back to earth and water. But now everything is already Saturn and Neptune are already in Aries. That's a fire sign, and all of the board of directors signs are all going into fire and air this year for good. It's going to change. It's already changing. I mean, I think we can all feel. Can we feel the change? I feel the change, even with
I
Mercury
feel it, yeah.
retrograde. Yeah, there's a change. There's definitely a change in the air. There's switching, and we are really getting a sense of where we're going. Now, it's nebulous, and I'll tell you why. Because Neptune is the ruler of Pisces. It's fog, it's illusion, it's kind of hard, it's confusing. So when you have Neptune in Aries, it makes it there's an era there will be a time of confusion for us. So if you're feeling a time of confusion, and I know a lot of us are, chalk it up to Neptune being in Aries. That's a very significant
Well, how
aspect.
long is it going to be in Aries?
It's 17 years, something like that.
Oh,
Wow. Yeah, 14, 17. I don't have that in front of me. In my notes, a long time. We have,
oh, I don't
okay,
like
well,
this
look
at
at, no, no,
all.
no, no, but there's beauty. So let me tell you the beauty to Neptune and Aries. Neptune and Pisces. Neptune is the ruler of Pisces, and Neptune's been in Pisces, but that's kind of bad. It's almost like, okay, I graduated from college and I'm going to go home and live with my mom, and mom is really nurturing and loving, so you kind of get lazy and you lay on the couch, right, and don't do anything. Well, that's like Neptune being in Pisces. It's like, I'm home, I'm great, right? But Neptune goes into Aries, and it's like it's sitting next to Saturn. Saturn is you get it done, baby. So Saturn and Aries are not going to let Neptune fool around. They're going to light up Neptune. They're going to make and Neptune is our our psychic ability, our intuition, our spirituality, our creativity, our artistic abilities, all of that stuff, our imagination, our empathy. That's Neptune. Think of all the Pisces traits. That's what Neptune rules. So all those, like if you're an artist and you've been like not writing that novel or not going on those auditions, or if you're a psychic and you've been sort of, well, I'm kind of just waiting for things to come out, or things aren't popping and snapping like they should. They're going to start popping and snapping because Saturn's going to make it happen, and Neptune being in Aries is going to make it happen. It just may take a time for us to figure out where we're going, the direction we're going. So that's a major thing right there. So this whole thing, it's changing everything. It's changing the tone of the universe. Now, right now, we're in Pisces season. And also I should mention the North Node is in Pisces until July. And so this is the last time that we're going to have a Pisces season with the North Node with Mercury retrograde. So there's a lot of like hurry up and wait kind of feel. Like we want to get things done, but we can't get it done because of Mercury. Mercury's just holding us back. Once we hit the 20th, just get ready. The floodgates are going to open because it's not just we're in Aries season. Mercury stations direct. And then we've got lots of really amazing things that happen. It's initiating a whole new solar rebirth because that's what Aries is. Aries is rebirth. Pisces, love Pisces. Pisces is, there's nothing more magical and beautiful about Pisces, but it's the end of the zodiac. Aries is the beginning of the zodiac.
Yeah, that's true.
And so and don't you notice this? I don't care what sign you are. I know for me, I'm an Aries, so is Terri, but I know that when Aries season starts, I'm kind of going about life, going about life. But then when Aries season starts, it's like the sun's brighter. Is it really? No, but for me, the colors are brighter. I feel happier. There's just something happy about when the spring equinox happens.
Yeah.
We enter
Aries. I like spring too. Now, I have a question. This is going to, affect all of us, but how is it going to affect those Pisces suns and also the Pisces rising people with
well,
the retrograde and then when it goes direct?
Oh, it's harder on them than anyone else. I mean, first of all, if you're a Mercury ruled person, and that would be Geminis and Virgos, and then if it's retrograding in your sign, which is Pisces, and by the way, the opposite or axis sign for Pisces is Virgo, so Virgo's getting it double right now. Virgo is really getting it done. Virgos are really getting hit. Virgos are like, ugh, poor Geminis always feel it when they have a Mercury retrograde. It's their ruling planet. So it's like if Mars, all of us, all three of us have Mars as our ruling planet. You do too, Rhonda, with your Scorpio. And so Terri's a double Mars ruling planet. I am too. When Mars goes retrograde, if Mars is your ruling planet, it's like hell. I mean, it's just really difficult when your ruling planet is retrograde. It's like your whole being is almost like you've hit a brick wall. And that's how Geminis and poor Virgos feel. Pisces are going to feel this sense of uplifting. I mean, Pisces have a lot of now that the North Node is getting ready to move out of their sign. They're just going to fit. I do have a list though. I am going to do what I always do. I'll go through each sign and kind of give you an overview of how this new spring equinox is going to feel for each of the signs. Do you want me to get to that right now?
Sure.
Okay, let's go ahead and get to that. Let me scroll through because I made me, I make all my notes and stuff. So, but I have some like key predictions well, first of all, I do want to kind of go back a little bit. The cardinal signs right now for this year are really in the highlight. They're the stars. They're sort of the Aries, like Aries, Libra, and Cancers and Capricorns, they're the ones in particular that are going to be the most affected this year. They're sort of the center stage, each one for a different reason. But so I just wanted to kind of emphasize that going forward. And I am going to go back to, I'll cover the different signs and just a little bit about what they're going through right now. But I also want to go list some dates, important dates, things that are coming up right away. But you mentioned Pisces, so let's go ahead and start. I'll start with Pisces and go backwards, which I rarely do, so I'll do that. With Pisces, money for them. You know why? Because Aries is in their second house. So if you're a Pisces rising, especially, Aries rules your second house of earned income. So money and value, self-esteem, the deservability is going to become crucial for them, knowing that they deserve money. After March 18th, that new moon in Pisces in their sign, which is coming up in 3 days, heavy focus on financial discipline and securing assets, which isn't always a Pisces strength. Unless they have some other aspect in their sign, Pisces are generally not very materialistic in that way. They want money because they want freedom, and they want money because they want to give to other people. They're not really so concerned about money for materialism's sake, generally speaking, unless they have some kind of other affliction in their chart. For Aquarians, communication is going to be their superpower, which is so good for Aquarians. They're very analytical, and those skills are going to be sharpened to a fine tooth point. They are really going to be sharp, and it's going to mastering new skills, and being a leader in the community is going to be very, very highlighted for Aquarians coming into this next. And I'm kind of covering the time from March 20th to June 21st. That's sort of that area. Then Capricorns, home and family. Home and family are big. That's the focus. They're going to be reevaluating their foundations, their root center, and I'm talking about that fourth house there, which is that where you feel secure. How do you define home? And sometimes you define home by traveling all over the world, and like wherever I hang my hat is home, and some people are different. So for Capricorns, that's going to be a big question and a big adjustment. There might be a home move, or there may be a sense of developing some kind of deeper personal security that they've not had before. I mean, maybe they've been a person who their whole life they moved around to different homes, and they're finally reaching a period of stability. Sagittarians. And by the way, all these signs that I'm listing, this is rising and sun and even moon a little bit here. That's their emotions. For Sages, creativity, fifth house, joy, children, romance, boost. Like if you've been feeling a little like I'm not connecting with my joy, and I know some Sagittarius risings who are feeling that. I know them personally. The capacity to touch in with that creativity and romance or children, but definitely joy. We have two manifesting houses, the fifth house and the 11th house. The fifth house is personal. It's like how we feel our joy. And when we connect to it, it's sacred. It's not frivolous. It's sacred. It's hard work to connect with that joy. And we have to work for that, because when we do that, that's what life is about. Not the workity work stuff. Now, the 11th house is communal manifestation, manifesting things outside of us. So anyway, that was a little sidebar there. Sorry about that. Scorpios, and we know a lot of Scorpios here. Health routines and productivity, how I show up to work every day, how I serve humanity, my pets, my plants, the people I give to, the people I care for. The next few months are really great for that, for streamlining, for looking at our day-to-day life and upgrading fitness, mental fitness, like meditating, journaling, and also like not overdoing it. I mean, the one thing about this particular, it's not about like going out and running a marathon. It's about, I'm going to walk 1,000 steps today. I mean, something little, like setting tiny little manageable goals. That's the big thing for Scorpio. Yeah, Scorpio. Okay. Now, Libra, and of course, Libras, relationships say that's their big thing. So for Libras, relationships get a major spotlight right now, which they love, because the Aries sun is their axis sign. It's their relationship sign, and it's going to illuminate partnerships, and urging them to be a better partner, to create better, to communicate better, to be more honest, and to own themselves, especially in love and business, because we can't ever forget that the seventh house is the marriage house, but it's the business partnership house. It's like we love each other, so we've decided to create a business. We went into business together and got married, right? Because we all know, anyone who's been married knows it's a business. We've joined our assets together, and we are now a company. And stop me if you have any questions here. So, because you know me, I'll just keep going. Virgos, which poor Virgos, they have had the South Node in their house now for 2 years, and they have been through a lot. So they're going to be focusing on partnerships and deep transformation. This Pisces new moon for them on March 18th, even though it's just 2 days before the equinox, sets up a long-term shift for them in how they share their resources and manage their emotional bonds. It's also about ancestral gifts. And I mean, you may even find Virgos getting some kind of inheritance or some sort or some kind of ancestral gift of some sort, even if it's from the beyond. I mean, it's eighth house, so it's very spiritual. A lot of transformation for those Virgos. Leos, total emphasis on intellectual and physical transformation, education, travel, a shift in how they look at life. Like some things that they're going to get an aha moment. Leos can get an aha moment and go, like have a different philosophy, like really change their philosophy in life. They might do some foreign traveling. They may, or there may be some legal matters or some publishing, but it's something about major life transformations for Leos. Now, Cancers, poor Cancers, poor little old Cancers, they have had Jupiter in their sign. And Jupiter just went direct. Jupiter's been asleep for 4 friggin' months. That's not fair. You get the planet of good fortune in your sign, and then it goes to sleep. I mean, that's just not fair. But it's awake now. So between now and June 30th, I believe, we have Jupiter full throttle in Cancer. So Cancer, take advantage of your good fortune. Get out there, like knock on those doors, leave your business card, say hello to people, tell them what you want, because this is your good fortune. This is your emerald year right now, up until I'll give you the date in a minute. You're positioned for massive career expansion. Jupiter is really going to really increase your professional recognition, but you're going to have to assume more responsibilities. You're going to have to take it on. It's like what they say, with the gifts comes the responsibility. So that's the thing that Cancers are going to have to know, that I'm going to be successful, but I'm going to be busy. So I'm not going to be able to sit in my fluffy chair and put up my feet, right? Geminis, networking for them, that's taking center stage. Get out there. You got to get out there and shake hands. You'll find for Geminis that they're going to have opportunities when they network. You know what they say, teamwork makes dream work. So they got to join those new teams, and new teams too. And that's what Geminis like. They like new stuff. They like new friends. And this is right up their alley. They love this kind of stuff. They're being asked to transform their social circle, and that's going to help their long-term goals. Taurus, oh, God bless Taurians. They're having Uranus is finally leaving their sign very soon. I mean, it's been going into Gemini, and Uranus loves being in Gemini, so that's going to be fabulous. So they're entering a new phase of life. They have just been through a major transformation for the last 7 years, and they are entering a new phase of deep evaluation and spiritual development. And another little thing, Taurians, prepare for some kind of real significant career shift in the late spring, like either a huge promotion or a complete job change, just something different for Taurians, which they don't like. Say the word change for Taurians, they get hives, but it's going to be good. So don't be worried about it. And then I'm going backwards. So now we got Aries. This is the ultimate reboot. This is Aries season now. So Aries, the sun in your sign, this is you. It's all about you. You're the star of the show. Leadership, charisma, the ability to launch any kind of personal project with a massive boost in your own personal power. You're going to feel like right now, if you ask an Aries, and I'm an Aries and Terry's an Aries, if you ask an Aries, we're all going to say, oh my gosh, I'm wiped the F out. After the 20th, we're going to be like, okay, let's go. Seriously, it's going to be a major, major boost. So wait, now don't come back to me and say, I'm not feeling it yet. Get out there, make it happen. You're going to make it. It's there for you. The energy is there for you, right? I also did want to talk a little bit about I do want to focus in again on a little more on Aries. It is their solar return. That means the sun is back in their sign. And that demands that you step up. You can't sit back. You have to be the leader. And that's the thing. The Aries is the leader. So you have to take accountability. You have to take responsibility, and you have to own it. You can't sit back and go, oh, no, you got to make it happen, and you can make it happen. Aries can make it happen. I did want to address a little bit more with Geminis because they've been through so much hell, or swear, this year, please let that. I will say what Cancer has gone through with their Jupiter going asleep during its transit and its sign. Gemini had the same thing happen to it. I feel sorry for Geminis. So they are going to get a glow up this year. They really are, especially as they change how they present themselves and break out. If they have any restrictive patterns, break out. Aquarius, I want to give a little focus on them for a minute because they have something important happening. Not only Pluto is in their sign, but the North Node we just had an Aquarius eclipse. Why? Because the nodes are shifting in July. So the North Node is going to be in Aquarius with Pluto. So get ready, folks. The next 2 years, the change we've been talking about with the North Node and Pluto in Aquarius, society, and I'm talking personally too, and for us, and especially for Aquarians and Leos. But I have to say, societally, the next 2 years, we're going to start seeing the change that we can see is already starting to happen. But the Aquarians are, especially in July when the nodes change, Aquarians are going to really dominate. They're going to be pioneering, and you know what? I've said this before in the show. If you want to know the future, sit next to an Aquarian. Especially now, if you want to be successful, find an Aquarian and attach yourself to an Aquarian project because it's going to be successful, especially if it's technology of some sort. And then Cancers, yes, please, again, I can't emphasize enough. Cancers, take advantage. If you're tired, take some Adderall. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. Get up, drink some coffee, get the job done because Jupiter, you have a little window of time into July to make it happen. And now the good news is, I will say, is when Jupiter leaves Cancer, it'll go into Leo, and then that's their money. So for a year, they're going to have good money fortune, and that's just as good as having good personal fortune. So
is that
I want the good money stuff.
Yeah. So the money stuff. Yeah.
Is that for Cancer, the good money stuff?
For Cancer risings, and and that's in your earned income. We have two money.
I thought you said Leo.
Leos too. Leos are having good money too. Yeah.
Okay, so who's not having good money?
Us right now.
Well, I will say Virgos are having challenges, and Pisces, they're not having money. No one's having money bad luck, but Pisces and Virgos need to watch it because the shifts are going into their second and eighth houses respectively, which those are the two money houses. The second house is our earned income, and that comes from our self-esteem and self-worth. When we love ourselves, when we know we deserve it, and we own it, and we're like, we deserve, that's when the money comes, And then the eighth house is other people's money. ancestral money, inheritance, child support, winning the lottery, IRS, taxes, loans. When you have really good eighth house money, you might get a government check. You might get someone saying, hey, a bank saying, "Hey, we noticed you have fabulous credit. Would you like to borrow $200,000 from us?" Or someone comes in, a financial advisor says, "Hey, do you know if you just make these two or three changes, you can up your monthly income by $3,000 a month?" Yeah, thank you very much. I mean, when you have transits through those two houses, see a money professional because they can really shine some light on ways for you to manage your money in a better way. And that's definitely something that Cancers and Capricorns will be able to do as the year goes by, and then Leo and what we all talked about. So, now, you want me to tell you some dates that are coming up?
Sure.
Okay. You want me to keep talking? I'll
Yeah.
keep talking. All right. Now, by the way, I was telling the ladies before we went on the air, but when I was born, my natal Mercury, which is how I communicate, is in Pisces, which means I'm not a linear talker. You probably noticed. I kind of go all over the place. I talk very Pisces. I'm a Pisces talker. I'm kind of so having Mercury, the planet of communication, which is also my ruler in Pisces going retrograde, I'm a little, pardon me if I'm rambling. So I'm depending on Rhonda and Terri to cut me off.
Well, I'm battling COVID right now, so I have COVID brain and I'm jacked up on Sudafed and Terry's tired, so we're like glad that we have you on the show today.
We'll be talking.
I
Yes.
do have a
I,
question. I do
yes,
have a question though.
yes, ma'am.
You mentioned, and it's for the viewers out there. You mentioned that Mars being my planet because I'm a Scorpio sun, but Pluto is also my planet, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Now what's your rising sign? You're a Cancer rising.
Scorpio with the Cancer rising, Cancer moon.
Okay. So well you have three ruling planets. So the ancient ruler of Scorpio used to be Mars.
Right.
And when they found Pluto's always been there. Then I don't know who did this. I've asked someone that question recently. Is there a board of directors of astrology like said, we have now to try, I don't know who made those decisions, but someone decided that, and I think it makes sense that Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio. But they still, so Scorpio has two rulers, Mars and Pluto. But your rising sign is Cancer, and its ruling orb is the moon. So your ruling planets are the moon, Pluto, and Mars. So those are your three ruling orbs, right? So, and I would say your rising signs ruling planet is just as important as your sun signs ruling planet. So, and having the moon as a ruling planet, that's kind of tough. It changes signs every 2 days. So when people call Cancers moody, well, duh. I mean, if your ruling planet changed signs every 2 days, you'd be moody too. And I feel, and if you are a Cancer anything, tracking the moon is very important. I track the moon all the time. I know where things are going when the moon, at least emotionally for me and stuff like that. So anyway, so was that the full question, or did I cut you off, Rhonda?
No, yeah, that's it. Because I mean, some people might not understand. They might think, "Oh, wait a minute, wasn't Scorpio? Isn't Scorpio Pluto?" And then you just mentioned Mars. So a
Yeah.
lot of people don't understand that. I just wanted to have you clarify it.
And if anyone is seeing this week, and I hope they are, Mars is very prominent this week, very prominent and dominant, which is interesting because Mars is in Pisces right now. It's transiting Pisces with Mercury, and with the sun. All right. And Mars is energy. Mars is get it done right now. Well, Mercury's going, I'm asleep and we're not doing anything, right? So it's really hard for Mars to be in Pisces, especially with Mercury retrograde. So it's a difficult thing. Once Mars goes into Aries, we'll be a lot happier. Mars is not really thrilled about ever being in Pisces anyway. Some of the planets love being in some signs, and then they don't like being in others. So that's just the way it is. But I'll go through the ruling planets really quickly, though. Aries ruling planet is Mars. Taurus is Venus. Gemini is Mercury. Cancer is the moon with the quintessential mother, right? Leo is the sun, which is the strongest. It's the shining. It's the orb. It's the star. Virgo is also Mercury. So see, Gemini and Virgo both share. They share a ruling planet. Libra is Venus, and so Taurus and Libra they share a ruling planet of Venus. Scorpio has two ruling planets. It has Mars and it has Pluto. And then Sagittarius is Jupiter. How fortunate, because Jupiter's Santa Claus, right? And then Capricorn is Saturn. Saturn, the ruler, the taskmaster, that I'm going to rise to the top, the worker bee. I don't know if y'all are watching that John F. Kennedy Jr., Carolyn Bessette love story thing that's
Yeah.
on television right now. But Carolyn Bessette Kennedy was a Capricorn. And it's interesting in the story how people didn't understand she loved to work. She was a typical Capricorn. Capricorn, it's not about money is there too, right? But if you can't let a Capricorn work, it's like cutting off their left arm. When she couldn't work, that was like devastating for a Capricorn. They have to work.
My daughter's a Capricorn. She's a stay-at-home mom.
But that's her work. That's her work. That's work. Stay-at-home mom is a very hard work. It's probably one of the hardest jobs. And they take it seriously. I had someone who did a reading with me one
Yeah,
time.
she does. She does take it seriously.
Yeah. Because the 10th house, that's the Capricorn house. That's the house of how people see you and your career. And I had this one woman I did a reading for her years ago, and she had all these fabulous, her sun and Jupiter, all at the top of the chart. And I said, "Oh my gosh, what do you do for a living?" And she said, "Oh, I'm just a stay-at-home mom." Well, okay, talk to the woman, president of the PTA or PTO or whatever, like this, like she has 10 kids. She's like the mother of the year. All right, And so I'm like, okay, yeah, you're just a mother. First of all, there's no just a mother. We all know that's the hardest, most responsible, loving job you can do on this earth is parent a child. And then the other part of it is she took it like she was known as being like the mother of the year, right? So anyway, where did I stop? Capricorn. Aquarius is Uranus or Uranus. I always say Uranus just to be silly, but it is Uranus. And there's no goofier ruling planet that you can get. Uranus is a very misunderstood planet. We don't really totally get it. It's electromagnetic communication, and it's like we don't get it. And then Pisces is Neptune. It's ruled by Neptune. Rose-colored glasses, love, deep agape love for humanity, and so those are the ruling planets. But the 20th, yes, that's a great day. The sun is in Aries, Mercury stations direct, Equinox. March 22nd happens to be my birthday. We have the sun conjunct Neptune, really high. It's a very, very big day. So mark that day. High inspiration, potential deception. I mean, because of Neptune going on. We have a day of challenges to kind of look out for because of Saturn is March 25th. It's just a day to look out for. And then late spring in 2026, we're really going to have some, especially as Aries season really gets going, we're going to have significant changes, all of us, in our public roles. Like changes are happening. It's like the Mercury retrograde really put a stop to some stuff, and now it's really going to get going. But I will say, that we also have March 28th, we have Saturn sextile Pluto. And so we have really major, major long-term aspect bringing major restructuring in our lives. So we have a lot. The biggest things though that are coming up, our next series of eclipses are going to happen in the fall. So we're not going to talk about that right now. But looking ahead at like the really important dates that are coming up, we have in June, from the 3rd to the 15th, we have a little planetary parade. We have Venus, Jupiter, Mercury are all clustering together in the western sky and coming together, and that's going to be very potent. On June 8th and 9th, we have a Venus Jupiter conjunction. It's just huge good fortune. But I do want to say, looking ahead, of course, then we get to the summer solstice. where are my dates for this? Where are my dates for this? We have, I see, I made all these notes and I thought I was being so good. Oh, there it is. On June 30th, that's the date. That's after my little deadline, but I just wanted to give everyone this heads up. Jupiter moves to Leo on June 30th. So Cancers, you have till June 30th to get your magic on. Write that novel, write that song, write that musical, start that business. I mean, it doesn't have to be just artistic. I'm just, do it. And then on July 26th, that's the official day of the nodal axis shift. That's when the nodes are going to change from the North Node in Pisces, South Node in Virgo, to North Node in Aquarius, South Node into Leo. Now we will still have is it Virgo or is it a Pisces? I think it's a Pisces. We have one more Pisces eclipse, but it's just on the cusp. That's going to happen in the fall. But we are moving forward to our new nodes. And what does that mean? That means we've had the North Node going into Pisces. So the things that have been our emphasis in life is going to change to things that are Pisces related to Aquarian related. And with Pluto up there, I mean, I am saying in the next couple of years, well, actually, let me tell you this. I'm a reporter. I'm writing stories. Florida right now, there's several states that are implementing air taxis. I'm not kidding you. They're coming up like this year. Air taxis. Like you can get, I mean, they're going to be expensive, but we have a lot of traffic problems in Florida. So you can now and they're having self-driving air taxis. And this all sounds like what, the Jetsons? Yeah. That's where we're at. It's the Jetsons. We are, and it's happening. So, yeah. So that's where we're going right now. When this nodal shift happens, we're going from like a spiritual questioning, which is where we all have been. I think we all have been in a spiritual questioning phase for the last couple of years. When the North Node goes into Aquarius, it's the future. It's all about the future, and it's about thinking things in ways we can't even really imagine today. We're going to see things and cryptocurrency and all that kind of stuff, which is, I know, all over the place. But yeah.
Here's the question that a lot of people are probably thinking.
Sorry.
What about the United States and also the world with the retrogrades and all that?
The war in Iran.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all related. Astrology affects absolutely everything. Hold on, Ro, can you please stop that? He's protecting me. There's neighbors that are walking in my hallway, and he wants to protect me. I apologize.
I've got a protector right on my lap.
Yeah. Oh, what a cute protector. Would you stop that? Would you stop that, please? Okay, thank you. All right, he'll stop. I'm spraying him with water. Anyway, I've got my water bottle here. I do it. He goes like this. Anyway, yeah, it's societal, and it's really interesting that you say that, because I've been talking. I have people that I talk to on a weekly basis. I do these weekly readings. It's just little videos I send out. And what's happening right now? This is an interesting thing. We have an orb called Lilith, and Lilith is the orb that rules women, children, the disenfranchised, the elderly, people without a voice, people that want to tell their truth and are held back by society, that are not strong in society. And Lilith is in Scorpio right now. And yeah, and Lilith has been sometimes we'll go months and not see anything from Lilith. But Lilith has been very active right now. And what I feel like, because the planets are societal and very personal. So everything that we're talking about is affecting us, our whole world. Now, Lilith, this week, I have a feeling something's going to come out in a societal way, like the Epstein files or something like that. It's whenever Lilith has been dominant, I look at the news and sure enough, something has happened legally. Something's been released. Somebody's been arrested. When Prince Andrew was arrested, when that came out, there was a huge Lilith aspect on that day. Huge. So
he's going to have to team up with ISIS and Cleopatra and the rest of them.
Yeah.
Fight for all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And so Lilith is very dominant, right? And having Lilith in Scorpio, which is a very a very powerful transformative planet, it's not a surprise to me that we're seeing this. And but it's also personal, Rhonda, which is interesting because we can look in the news and see it. But I personally feel myself, I can see myself kind of embodying, like standing up for myself more. Because someone told me the other day, said, women aren't the disenfranchised. You guys, what are you talking about? Like, I'm sorry. When I graduated
Really?
high school, I couldn't get a credit card,
Yeah.
without daddy signing for me. So it's not been that long since women didn't have a lot of right or couldn't even buy their own house, right? So no, it's pretty, and we're having our rights taken away from us. Just as we speak, have already had many rights taken away from us. Well, I
Mhm.
feel this Lilith re-empowerment that has been in the news and is continuing right now is going to be something that we're going to be hearing about a lot more.
Long does that last?
I have been seeing Lilith. Lilith is in. That's a really good question. Lilith is getting ready to move into Sagittarius, which is going to be it. And it's actually Lilith is going to this year is going to dip into Sagittarius for a while and then go back into Scorpio and then forward again. But Lilith in Sagittarius is going to be even better than or stronger or just as strong in a different way, because when Lilith goes into Sagittarius, Sagittarius can't shut up. They're not going to be quiet. They will,
Yeah.
and it's going to be it's going to coincide with this new, like I said, the board of directors are in fire and air. Well, guess what? Lilith is going into fire. So when you got Lilith going into fire with the board of directors in the fire signs, yeah, we're stepping up. People are stepping
Yeah.
up. Yeah,
And I feel that it's that with Sagittarius, they're more direct. They set their like their arrows and they have a plan
they're
and they
truth
execute
tellers.
it.
Yep,
Yeah.
they're truth tellers. That's why they get in trouble. They put their foot in their mouth, but they don't mean any harm. They're not doing it to be. They're just they say the truth. That's all, and they're direct. They don't share. They're not thinking through. Oh, I want to be, diplomat. There's no diplomacy with the Sagittarius unless they have some other aspects in their sign. A Sagittarius is a truth teller. That's what it is. And so with Lilith going into Sagittarius, I think what will happen is, instead of Sagittarius is more about, I mean, Scorpio, pardon me, is more about the healing and the transformation. Whereas when you put it into Sagittarius, it's going to be, all right, we're done with the transformation. We're making it happen. All
Well,
right.
could it also be like, with Lilith with the voice of the children and with Sagittarius being that, making it happen, maybe something of the Epstein files is going to be really out there and revealed.
Absolutely. And it has been in some ways. I mean, they have had people, like hidden people under the, like releasing unredacted versions of it. And of course, this is another thing I think we're going to be, I want to mention this. You asked me about the global implications of what's been going on. Pisces is ruled by Neptune, like I said, which is fog and delusion and illusion. So what's been going on with our communication these last how many years?
Exactly.
Like what, this is your truth, this is my truth. I go on my Facebook and or on my Instagram and I get this and you get this, and it's like everyone has their own news channels that they're watching, and there's no clarity, there's no like what's the truth. You can talk to someone, if they're not someone who is in your lane, they have a whole other set of news they're watching, right? That's not going to happen anymore with Aquarius. I think Aquarius is going to resolve that. That's my belief. I believe Aquarius is all about the future. It's all about news and communication. That's what it rules. And I believe something is going to come out eventually. Maybe I'm a cockeyed optimist, and I know I am. I'm sorry, but I'm just going to be that way. But I really feel like globally, because of all of this Pisces energy, yeah, we've not been seeing clearly. We've had this veil in our eyes. When we get into Aquarius and Pluto, which is Pluto's transformation, it's
Now,
going to,
when is this?
this is well, the nodal axis shift officially happens July 26th. We've already had our first eclipse in Aquarius this month. I mean, was it February, March, or was it March? When did we have our eclipse? When was the
February.
I'm sorry. I'm so tired. Yeah, it's we just well, whatever that last eclipse. We actually had two eclipses. We had the first eclipse was in Aquarius, and that was in February, and then the second eclipse was in March, and it was in Virgo, and that's our last Virgo eclipse. The next set of eclipses are going to be in Leo and in Pisces, and it's going to be the last Pisces eclipse, right? So that's what I'm saying. None of this is going to happen right away. So don't call me on July 27th and say, Michelle, I thought you said that. No, it's going to take some time. But I really feel like with this Pluto being in Aquarius and with the North Nodal shift in Aquarius, I think a huge invention, I'm hoping, I pray, is that we're going to get back to having news, truth, because that's what Aquarius is, or Uranus and Aquarius is all about freedom and truth and authenticity. And those
Well,
are gonna, those are going to be the things that are valued: freedom, truth, authenticity.
When we moved out of 2025 into 26,
Mhm.
I saw a big shift. And it's like all of a sudden, it's like the especially the United States, but all over, it's like a big pus pimple. And it's just everything's coming to a head and it's just going to burst. And then after that, then we have to, make things right again and heal things.
Oh
And
yeah, yeah,
if you'll notice, children have been the target with the school shootings and those poor little girls, that the school over in Iran that got bombed and those little girls got attacked. And then the Epstein files with especially little girls.
yeah. And little boys. I mean, little boys. I mean, you hear some of the testimony I'm hearing. It's both, because pedophiles. It's not about male female
it's
for
it's
pedophiles.
it's mostly girls though,
It
and
is mostly girls, but some of the boys are like that. Some of the stories, it is mostly girls, but it's disgust. But yeah,
it's like you said, it's about the vulnerable and
it's about
you know,
power. It's an illness, and it's hidden, and and actually the other thing that kind of correlates in my brain is Pisces and Virgo is they rule the 12th house and the 6th house, and the 12th house and the 6th house. That's all about it's about when we're how can I say it rules monasteries, churches, things like that. So what are we talking about? We're talking about Pisces and Virgo, monasteries, churches, I mean, we've already had the news come out about the abuse in the church, the
Yeah.
Catholic Church in particular. But things that happen behind closed doors, things that happen that are hidden secrets. That's what Pisces is all about. That's what the 12th house of the astrological house is all about. Hidden secrets, the things that happen behind closed doors. And the irony is that you cannot find two signs that are more service and giving oriented than a Pisces or a Virgo. However, if there are some negative aspects, you can also find a lot of dysfunction in those areas as well. And I feel like we're going to come out of that. And please, God, please, universe, please, whatever, just like heal this, heal this. Let's have some truth. Let's shine some truth. And I believe that's going to, if it doesn't happen during an Aquarius North Node with Pluto, I don't know when it'll happen, because Aquarius shines the light on the truth. That's what's going to happen. It wants the truth to come out. And Uranus, by the way, is the lightning strike planet. It's sudden. It's like it doesn't put up with crap. It's not like Saturn, who's like, all right, let's have a class plan and and let's be methodical about how we're going to do this. No, Uranus sees something that's unjust and it just lightning strikes it out and it's there. So don't be surprised this year as all of these shifts are happening, as the North Node, as soon as we get that North Node officially in Aquarius, there could be some really big sudden revelations coming up. I think we have in the next couple of years some big revelations. I can only hope and pray that we do, right?
Yeah, I
I
mean,
just I just want it all to stop. I mean,
yeah.
there's no guarantee that just because the Epstein files are out there that any of this is stopping. And I want to know why the last 30, 40 years no one's done anything about it. I mean, this has been going on for ages, decades, you know. way back in the 80s. Epstein was in trouble on that Zorro Ranch thing. I don't understand why, with all the, the many things that we have, FBI and all, no one's done anything about this, anything.
Okay.
Well, a lot of those people were involved too, and they had to protect the higher up because of the money. But and not only are the children, but the transsexual people, the gay people are being targeted. The elderly now are being targeted. People of a different color or some different race, something like that. Everybody, unless you're not white, and especially a man, you're being targeted. But I feel that all this is just a big boil, just ready to burst. And so we're bringing it all to a head, but it's going to be like all at once that we're going to have to start dealing with this.
Yeah, and I'm sure we'll be going through a lot of recovery and a painful time. I mean, it'll be,
That's a
but the truth will be out there. And then and yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
that's okay. That's a good question that Terry brought up though. What phase were we in, like maybe 20 years ago or something like that? Can you see back?
Well, we didn't have the age of Aquarius at that point.
Right. So,
We were actually, that's a very good question. Pluto was at that point in Capricorn. And what's Capricorn? Patriarchy.
that makes a lot of sense.
Mhm. And yeah, because these are slow moving planets. I mean, it takes Pluto sometimes 25 years to move through a planet.
Well, I just want to blow Pluto up. How's that?
Hey, that's my little
No,
planet.
that's your ruling planet too. Terry wrote about.
No, it's not.
Well, it's one of them. So no, Pluto is actually no. Pluto wants us to be fabulous. And yeah, when Pluto's transiting a sign, what, but it does strength. What happens is it strengthens, whatever is about that sign. So we are humans. We have free will, and I'm glad you said that, because this brings this up. It's like, yeah, Pluto going through Capricorn could have had a lot of different results. What result did it have? Probably did have some good results. I'm sure there were some things that we just have to think about it, but we're humans, and it's up to us. I mean, we've got this. It's like we have the astrological weather, but it's up to us to do what we got to do with it. And Terry, you brought up something really important. You said, well, what about like the 80s? Honey, this has been happening since the beginning of man. There's always been people abusing children and women, and I mean, this and the people who are entitled taking advantage of the disenfranchised. Yeah. This has been happening, and if there's any planet that won't put up with that crap, is Aquarius. Even though I will say I have my issues with Aquarius, they're a little not so bismal, but I love them. And my daughter's an Aquarius, and I love her more than life itself. But I got to tell you, Aquarians can be a little tough. They can be a little tough to handle sometimes. Yeah, but they will not tolerate. They're very, they can really compartmentalize really well. They're really good compartmentalizers. They're really good at, but I'll tell you one thing. FDR, my favorite president, he was an Aquarian. And this is one thing they always said about him. So this is why I bring it up. Someone said, you never really knew the man. No one person ever got all of him. He gave pieces of himself to different people. That's an Aquarian trait. It's like they want to keep something hidden from themselves because it's freedom. It's freedom. They have to feel free, and they don't want people, clingy people, or they can't give themselves. That's why they have a hard time in marriage, in relationships, unless they have some other kind of. Aquarians don't come calling me, complaining. I'm not saying there's a lot of wonderful married Aquarian people, but usually with friendship, because they're great friendships, and friendship that's the basis of their relationships. But I will say though, if freedom and truth and authenticity doesn't come out during this time period, I don't know what it will. But we have free will, so it's up to us to take stands. It's up to us to vote. It's up to us to turn off our stupid devices and stop being addicted to them. Like, I'm trying hard not to let it F with my dopamine, and I'm trying hard not to get on it first thing in the morning. It's up to us to take control. If we don't take control, it's not going to happen. We have free will.
And that's what it is. That's what we're going through right now with our country. We need to take control.
Yep,
Teaching
absolutely.
us a valuable lesson that we need to do that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we can do it too. I mean, I lose faith in humanity sometimes. Sometimes I'm like, oh gosh, I've had it. But then I see, so there's so much beauty. There's so much beauty in people. There's so much goodness out there. There's so many I'm going to get emotional. There's so many wonderful people out there that do wonderful things for people, that are selfless. And that's what I want to focus and tap onto. And that's what we have to. We have to all
Mhm.
collectively work at raising our vibration, to be
Yep.
good people and love each other, and stop, and forgive, offer grace to those people that are doing the not so good. I mean, not, what I mean. And elevate our world, and we can do it, but we have to do it though. I mean, the planets can do all their stuff, but if we don't take
Right.
advantage of it, it's not going anywhere
That's right.
anyway.
Well, thank you for coming, Michele. We appreciate you
This
giving us an earful.
this was a really great one this time. I mean, they're always great. They're always
I
great.
mean,
Always informative, but this one was especially good. I mean, you've given us a lot of insight and I think help explain what's going on today. I mean, a lot of people are still confused, so it helps knowing that what's going on in the heavens, you understand a little bit more.
Yeah, it's just weather. It's like weather,
yeah,
it's like, I always tell everyone that it's like, if you live in Florida and you decide to get married in June in Florida, you're not going to have an outdoor wedding in the afternoon because you're going to have a thunderstorm.
yeah,
Well, that's what astrology is. It's like, we're going to tell you, like, don't sign a contract when Mercury's retrograde, like, work with the
yeah,
outdoor weather. It's not, no, I can't tell you when you're going to die. I can't tell you when you're going to get married. I can't tell you those kinds. I can tell you when it might likely happen, when the astro weather's going to be good. And it actually does tell a lot of really eerie things. When I'm doing readings and I don't know someone and I'm looking through their charts and I'm saying stuff, they're going, oh my gosh, how did, but it's not me. I'm nothing. I'm just reading the aspects of it. So it's just in there. So it is really interesting, but we do have free will. We do have free will. And that's
But that's where you're wrong though, because it really is you, because you have a lot of passion in this.
well, I'm a reader though. I think I kind of feel like I'm sort of, there is a little bit of intuition. Like I can put the little things together and go, and it is, I mean, Terry's seen it. Yeah. Yeah. And I've done you too. It's like, I look at it and I'm like, wow, this is so cool. Your fourth house is, I nerd out. I get really nerdy about it because it's like when those things kind of come together and look at it. But I know there are astrologers that are like 10 times better than me. But I enjoy it. I do. I really love looking at the charts and seeing the synchronicity. And it's really cool when you hear someone go, oh my gosh, how did you know that? Or boy, that really resonates. Or, and you find when you look at a chart, you can find people's mothers are in there. Their fathers are in the chart. Their kids are in there. It's all they're where they're going in life, where they've been in their past lives. It's all in your chart. So it's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and like they say, there's no coincidences, only synchronicities and stuff. So you mentioned that, synchronicities in the chart. So
It
yeah,
is. Yeah.
we
But
all
we
have
do have,
paths.
but we do have free will. It's like
Yeah,
sometimes it's hard though. Sometimes it's like, if you're going down a path, it's hard to reroute to another path, right? Mm,
yeah.
yeah,
But that free will also equals and ends with karma and karmic issues, karmic debt and stuff. So it's all connected.
it is.
Very neatly, it's all connected. It's
It
really neat how that works.
it truly is. It truly is.
all right, girls. I feel like you could talk for a couple more hours.
I know. I'm
But
sorry. Shut me up.
and I don't know about you, but I've had a full day of work and I'm exhausted. So I'm gonna
Oh,
I'm gonna say we shut this down. Um, thanks, Michele. I appreciate it.
can I do one thing before I go? I don't know if this
Oh,
will work here. I know. Just wait. Look. Hearts, love, love.
okay.
I
Where's
had
the
to do it.
shamrocks?
Oh, you
Where's
want the Shamrock?
Shamrock for
I'll do
us, for us
okay.
Irish girls?
Oh, here we
Oh,
go.
yeah, that's
Shamrock.
right.
Yeah, we're Irish girls here.
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
We're all Irish here.
All
Mm.
right. That's all. That's all I
All
had.
right.
All right.
Okay.
Love you, ladies. You guys are all
Love you.
having me. Okay.
So,
See,
Michelle, we're
yeah.
going to say goodbye to you. Rhonda, we should talk for a couple more minutes with
Okay.
the on record. Thanks, Michelle. We love you.
Thank you. Love you guys too.
See ya.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so wanted to just bring up the fact that we're getting a new producer for our podcast,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll be done in a studio, and so you won't see our wonderful backgrounds that we have put up here. But we are looking for sponsors. So if anyone would like to be a sponsor for our show, let us know. We'll send you the packet of information that you'll need to do that with, and if anybody wants to come on and be a guest on our show, also, we're looking for people to have fun with, talk with, chat with, and of course, Rhonda and I will be doing our usual thing.
And then remember what Michelle said, that opportunities are coming up and it's happening for us.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So we're excited about it. We're hoping to reach more people, and it'll be a weekly show,
yes.
and we'll be doing live stuff, and we're excited about it, and we hope you'll be able to tune in. Of course, we'll let you know all about it when it happens. If you are on our Facebook pages, I'm sure we'll post there too. It's all going to be on YouTube, and we'll share that. Also, links to that.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
And on Facebook and stuff. And just like they say, smash that like button. Like. I'm sorry, I have COVID brain. Like button.
Oh yeah,
But, you know,
subscribe.
like us, share us.
Yeah,
You can
and I
subscribe.
think
You
I
know, we
think
can
it's free to
anything.
subscribe. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't think you have to pay.
It is. Everything is free.
Yeah.
But what that does then is when something new pops up for us, a new show, then it goes and automatically, they get notified.
They'll let y'all know about it. So
Yeah,
that's cool. So we're looking forward to that. We really are,
we
because
really are.
it takes some of the pressure off of us, especially Rhonda, to get it out there, put it out there so you all can see it and stuff. So it's gonna be a good collaboration, I think. So we're looking forward to it.
Yep, I am. I am looking. I'm so grateful for the opportunity.
Yeah, me too. I am grateful for it as well. All right, kiddo. I hope you feel better really soon.
I'm getting there.
I'd like to get started on this thing right away.
Me too. Well, give me
Mhm.
a few days and I'll
Yeah,
be. I just don't want to give anybody sick. So
but we definitely want people to contact us if they want to come on the show, if they want to be a guest, if they want to be someone to be read. Just send us a message, and let us know,
yeah,
and we'll try to fit you in and see what we can do for you. Okay.
absolutely.
All right. Well, bye everybody. We love you.
Bye. You all take care.
See you soon.